Guys, close all the windows, don't let any wind in, otherwise today's gaming mouse might hit my face or my neighbor gets a sudden surprise mouse upgrade. Yeah, I guess you get the point I'm trying to make. I'm looking at what is one of the lightest gaming mice on the market right now, and believe it or not, this one's by the brand Sharkoon. Sharkoon is known for offering good products at affordable prices. So how exactly this mouse is supposed to be called like, don't ask me. I guess you could call it Light 2200, maybe even Light Squared 200. I don't know. As far as I know, nowhere does it say how we should pronounce it, which is why I'm going to stick with Light 2200, even though it may as well be incorrect. But this shouldn't be all about the naming of this product. Instead, it's supposed to be some sort of review, or at least my experience with this particular gaming mouse. This may not necessarily be the lightest gaming mouse on the planet right now, but it certainly is one of them. This usually is achieved by going for such a perforated design, but here it seems Sharkoon has an ace up its sleeves, maybe even two. The pricing, for instance, is at about 50 euros in Europe. I'm not sure about US pricing yet, since I couldn't find it anywhere so far, but I'm assuming it would be somewhere in a range of 55 to 60 US dollars. For something we could call a high-end gaming mouse, not too bad actually. But understandably, this is not for everyone. Is it too small, too lightweight, or at the end of the day, simply the right fit for you? The design, aside from the more or less fully perforated construction here, is rather minimalistic, kept simple. I would even go as far and call this slightly smaller than your usual gaming mouse. Despite all these holes in it, the material, the build quality, does make a solid impression all in all. A special thing here not many mice actually offer: some replacement parts. Besides replacement feet and colored rubber DPI switches, we also do get an interchangeable top cover without any holes in it. That cover basically just hooks into place and is kept down by magnets. The regular top cover does, however, add like 2 to 3 grams of additional weight to the mouse. But for those that aren't looking forward to the cleaning job, due to those honeycomb holes, this is a nice alternate cover. However, since the top cover can be taken off anyway, I believe we could go through easy cleaning and washing anyway. Things look different when it comes to the size of the mouse though. Sooner or later you will have to deal with those dead skin cells that accumulate over time. I guess sometimes sacrifices need to be made. The ergonomics were spot on for me from the very first minute on, something that shouldn't really come as a surprise given this is a fairly standard shape. The heart of the Light 2200 is the phenomenal PixArt 3389 sensor, allowing up to 16,000 dpi, which may be a super high and impressive number, but realistically speaking doesn't make too much sense. Nonetheless, the sensor in itself is just epic and really fast, if I may say so. Maybe this is thanks to the RGB lighting, because even lightweight mice apparently need to be decorated with RGB. If you like playing around with lighting and all kinds of effects, you'll have great fun with the software. But we are also being offered functional settings. As you'd come to expect, all those 7 dpi levels are fully user-definable. Same goes for the buttons. We can assign not just our usual multimedia functions, but macros too. Basically the usual features that tend to come with high-end mice. Kudos to Sharkoon for allowing us to customize the lift-off distance, not something we find too often actually. For the left and right main buttons, as we are used to, we are getting quality Omron switches with a rated minimum switch life of 20 million clicks. The clicking feel does impress, and so does the rubberized scrolling wheel, offering a decent resistance. Those that are curious, here's how the mouse sounds like. The small central rubberized switch acting as the DPI switch on default I really like, plus there are colorful replacements included. The back and forward buttons on the left happen to be super standard, just like on most mice. Now to the mouse bottom. Underneath we get to see even more of those honeycomb holes, and great feet actually, allowing for smooth gliding and movements. Also there's a 3-step switch at the bottom for the polling rate. Unlike with most mice, that's not to be configured in the software here, instead physically on the bottom of the mouse. We choose between 125, 500 and 1000 Hz. Other than my subjective impressions, there's not much more that I could really say here. There was no getting used to needed in this case, not for me at least. And although super lightweight mice may not suit every single one of you out there, I gotta say, I like it. Generally speaking, they say lightweight mice are better for gaming. Well, I cannot confirm that since I simply am not a gamer, which however doesn't mean I don't benefit from good peripherals with good ergonomics. After all, I'm working many hours daily on my PC, editing videos, audio tracks, create thumbnails, and so on and so forth. As I've already noticed with another very lightweight mouse, the slightly heavier Xtrfy M4 RGB, coming in at 69 grams, you do appear to be a bit faster with a mouse that has a lower weight to it. This, however, probably is not only due to the low weight, but the speedy PMW3389 sensor, since I experienced the same exact feeling with the M4 RGB by Xtrfy. Although I'll be honest with you, I prefer today's Lite 2200 by Sharkoon, simply because it offers more user customization. A nice little bonus is the lower price, of course. So once again, yet another gaming mouse that kicks some major ass, at least for me. A bit of a bummer though that the lighting, or rather brightness, seems a little out of balance or inconsistent. Due to the not so transparent plastic on the scrolling wheel, it appears much darker than the remaining fairly bright lighting zones. But that is complaining at a high level, but who knows, this might bother you more than it does me. Other than that, the performance, the good build quality, and the somewhat modular design certainly did manage to impress me, especially the fact we can swap out the perforated top cover for a regular one. All that at a price of 50 euros or I don't know, $55 to $60 doesn't seem bad at all at the end of the day. Therefore, I see no reason why I wouldn't be able to recommend picking up the Sharkoon Lite 2200. But hey, you might see a few things a bit differently here and there. If so, sound off down below in the comments. With that being said, thanks a lot for watching and stay healthy, guys.